Hey there, San Francisco Truth. So, in this video, I'm going to talk about how I think the truthers are being, attacked through their devices, through their phones, and they're getting all these ailments that they're attributing to other, nanotechnology. It's the chemtrails. Well, no, it's the phones. These phones are attacking you. And they're, we're getting shot with hidden weaponry that's not talked about in any narrative. These are light and sound, frequency weapons, and demonic, sonic, harmonic weapons from the demonic beast system. Your Apple phone has a bite out of it in the logo for a reason. And I'm telling you, this is the problem for truthers, is being stuck on these screens all this time, following the fake truther narrative. This is how the beast is going to disable you and get your soul. It's through these phones and through the fake truth narrative. All your hours of screen time is how you're going to lose your soul. And it's also why you don't feel good. When I stay away from my phone, I feel like $1 million. But as soon as I start looking at YouTube or one of these platforms, I get attacked by the weaponry inside of the phone. And and I know other truthers too, if they're honest with themselves, they'll say, yeah, it's true. Most of them they can't even be away from their phone long enough to even know the difference. But I'll put a challenge out there to you. Leave your phone at home for a few days. Put it in a Faraday bag or shut it off for, as long as you can, and see how you feel. I think you're going to notice you feel a whole lot better if you don't look at a computer screen or a phone or a tablet. And you just go out and live life like it was, like we did in the 90s or the early 2000s before these devices. And also, I'm going to talk about all the truther remedies. Drink borax. My friend drank borax because Sabrina Wallace told her it would get rid of assembling nanotechnology in her body. This is more fake truth. And also these people, doing, Joe Rogan told me to drink aquarium cleaner, and, because I have parasites. And you don't have parasites. You don't have assembling nanotechnology. You have an internet addiction, and it's attacking you. Okay, here's another video, San Francisco Truth. Seer of the unseen. Knower of the unknown. Like putrid head. That's what he says. And I laugh, but I shouldn't laugh. He is that. He is a seer, and he is a knower. And he should be putting more videos out. I haven't seen any. But yeah, he definitely sees something. Yeah, there's a lot of small truth channels that have visions and see things, but people don't take us serious because they've been brainwashed and conditioned and mind controlled to believe that seers are frauds, and there is no such thing as somebody that can see through time or be a knower seer. So, and I'll tell you, that's exactly how I felt most of my life until I started having these visions. And when I first started having the visions, I was like, I just thought I was losing my mind, or what the hell am I seeing? But it's been 15 years, and so I'm accustomed to it, and I can turn it on and off too. But yeah, most people, when they hear that, they're just like, oh, this guy wants money, he wants recognition, he wants power, he's a fraud, just like all the other seers. And that's, like I said, they made, the beast system knows that there are people with visions, and they made seers specifically so that when they did show up in the end days, people wouldn't believe them. People would think they're frauds, and they've continued to make a lot of seers. And the topic of this, what I'm trying to explain here, the reason I'm bringing all this up, is I've noticed there's a lot of like Sabrina Wallace narrative out there right now about, it's we're all infected. The narrative, this is the fake truther narrative. We're all infected with like a nanotechnology and W-band internet body of things, and we're just like, even though we didn't take the warp speed soda, we're supposedly, even all the truthers who didn't take the soda, were supposedly, now connected to the W band, according to Sabrina Wallace and all these other Canaanite grifters. And so, funny, because what I think is happening here is it's another part of the devil's, deception and narrative and trick to make us believe that, because I think more and more of us are having these end time visions. To be more succinct, there are actually less seers. In 2020, there were more seers, and a lot of them lost their vision because they didn't handle the visions properly. What it is there's more attention being paid to the seers that are left. They're getting more real traction, maybe not big appeal, not big channels, not mass appeal, but they're getting traction from the real end times people. And the beast sees that. The beast isn't concerned with your big sub channel and your NPC channel. They're not worried about that. The beast is concerned with the real channels and the real end time truthers. So that's what it's paying attention to. And it's paying attention to who they are paying attention to. So just being a little more succinct, that's what's really, I think, happening here. So as the end times ramps up, people are starting to pay attention to the few real seers there are out there. The lines are being drawn. The people who are going to make it are being, funneled onto the narrow path, and the other ones, a lot of people are getting funneled onto the wide road. The other part of this fake truth or narrative of us being, infected by nanotechnology and smart dust, and we have black graphene in us and all this crap that we're being fed in the truth or narrative. The other part of it is all the fake truth or remedies. And then the Canaanites put out these shills that have fake, drink aquarium cleaner, drink, citric ice, chlorine dioxide, and drink borax, and all these kind of fake truther remedies, and that make you sick, and worse than that, even if you don't get sick from these fake truther remedies, you're being, pushed into the mindset that you can solve your attacks from the devil on a material level, rather than the mindset that it's just a spiritual situation. You need a spiritual solution. So, this is all more material fear based fake truth, which is basically the whole truth narrative. It's all material crap that the truthers have made up. Want you to believe, believe in the governments, believe in the elites, and believe in the Masons. And never are there any truthers telling you that the governments are a show and the elites are a show and a facade. The truther narrative doesn't tell you that the Masons are a facade. They say, it's the Masons are doing this. The Masons aren't doing this. I'm telling you. It's worse. What's behind this makes the Masons look like a benevolent organization, What's behind this is wicked. This is the devil. This is the beast system. Masons are the least of your problems. You better wake up. And be careful. Listen close to what I'm saying. I'm not saying that those, the Masons and the Canaanites and, all this, all the government agencies aren't doing bad. I'm not saying that. I'm not adopting the mainstream sheeple narrative. I'm telling you that inside the truther narrative, what's really happening, the real end time truth, is deeper than the truther narrative. And that these, say the Masons and the Canaanites and all this, they're functional smoke screens. That yes, they do evil. Yes, chemtrails are bad. I'm not arguing, that they are. I'm arguing that there's something behind all of this that's being hidden by those facade agencies and secret societies. These things are masking, hiding. They're a front to hide the beast system, what I'm talking about. These internet companies don't exist. They're fraud. I mean, they exist, and in a sense, but they're fronts. They're hiding something. They're there. They're created to hide the real truth. So you need to, you're gonna have to get out of to. It's just like a two-party system. You're believing in the right and the left and Biden and Trump is just like, you're still stuck in the whole, is it the sheeple narrative or the truther narrative? Well, guess what? They're both wrong. Just like Biden and Trump are both, wrong. So this is the situation that truthers are in, that most of them can't see. Almost all of them can't see this. The truther narrative is like the truther party against the mainstream narrative party. It's like a two-party system of fake choices. Both of them are false choices. If you're defending the truther narrative, it's like you're defending, the Republicans or the Democrats. You're in the same boat. It's just the truther narrative against the mainstream narrative. Both of them are a lie. Both of them are fake, phony candidates. And the fact you defend it so vehemently proves that you've been mind controlled. And it'd rather scare us and confuse us and make us think, oh, well, we must be, filled with nanotechnology and we're hooked up to the beast system and that's why we're seeing this shit. No, we're hooked up. There's, like I explained to you, we're not in a matrix. There is a matrix made by the beast system here in San Francisco. There is a matrix run by Satan, and it's trying to make you believe in it and join it. But it is not the reality. We're in God's reality, which is a natural, all natural, benevolent system. And benevolent matrix. Mother Earth, Adam and Eve, okay, we're in God's system. What I'm telling you is similar to what you see in the Matrix movie. Basically, there is a matrix, and we're the pure-blooded people who aren't, cybernetic transhumans, iron and clay transhumans. We're not in the matrix. The matrix is all around us, but we're not part of the matrix. We haven't been written into the software program. To get written into the software program, you have to take the warp speed juice first. So what I'm telling you is I'm sure of this, okay? It's all been shown to me. I've seen it, over and over. There are 80 to 90% iron and clay transhumans on Earth, and it's always been that way for ages, eons. I don't believe in time, but it's been like that for a long, for ages. So what I'm telling you is, if you're a real human that isn't written into, you're not one of these transhuman iron and clay beings, you're not in the matrix. But the matrix is trying to suck you into it. It's trying to get you to take its, technological juice and become written in. And I'm telling you, you get written in here on the, San Francisco Peninsula. That's why, you get swallowed in South San Francisco. You go past YouTube, which is the voice box of the beast with the head wound. Then you go down the gullet to the Stanford Collider at the top of its stomach, at the top of the belly of the beast in the Silicon Valley. And that's where you get written in to the software program, and you become part of the beast system, which is all hooked up by these bridges. The Golden Gate Bridge connects, the beast with the head wound and Lucifer. The Silver Gate Bridge, which is the Bay Bridge, connects Satan and the beast with the head wound. And those are the three beasts in the Bible. It's not a maybe. This is the three beasts. And you get written into their software program. You become part of the matrix. So all your relatives and friends who were humans, natural born humans, that took that juice in Operation Warp Speed, they're now written in to the software. You, on the other hand, are not. And no, Sabrina Wallace is full of crap. You didn't breathe in chemtrails and now you're full of nanotechnology. It's just a lie to scare you and make you hopeless and confuse you and make you sound like an idiot when you talk to your relatives and isolate you. So, it's in the Bible. It's in the Matrix movie. The truth's been told to you. You don't believe it, or you believe Sabrina Wallace. You believe the Bible or Sabrina. It's up to you, And so that's what I see. And someone's asking about how to tell the transhumans from the natural born humans. And, they're saying, it must be intuition. And no, it's very easy. You just have to watch. Had you been around in the early part of the lockdowns, you were watching Apocalypse, Watchmen, Mr. E, and the Mag Truth, you would have seen all the breakdowns of all these transhumans and how their gender flipped. And it's real easy, their digit ratio, their skull, their hips, their body style, their gender flipped. So they're presenting as a woman, but they still have leftover characteristics of a man from when they were, real natural born humans, and vice versa. These women, all these models and movie stars, they were men and now they're women, but they still have like the male digit ratio on their hands. They still have a male skull and a male jaw and an Adam's apple. They're not completely, Satan's work is not very good. It's a cheap copy. So, you have to study those old videos and do that work if you want to know how to, spot the transhumans. And unfortunately, they're calling them trannies and all that. And that's not really what they are. They're transhumans. They're iron and clay beings. It's in the Bible. They're not trannies. This happened to them before they were born, in vitro. It's a genetic thing. Okay, it's meddling with their genes. It's iron and clay. It's Genentech. Just like I told you, it happens at Genentech, the largest, oldest biotech company in the world. Genes and tech, iron and clay. Plain and simple, right there in front of your face. That's why you see Archaics. He was a little chubby, little doe-eyed girl at one point. And the devil flipped him around, and now he's presenting as a, male convict. And that's why you see Richie from Boston with his little slope shoulders, little woman's skull. And Satan and the beast system is copying God's system, but it's a cheap knockoff. It's a cheap copy of what God's handiwork is. So, don't buy into it. That's why, all the people who tell you we're in the Matrix are usually avatars of Satan or part of the whole satanic agenda. So that's what it is. We're not in a Matrix. The Matrix is trying to suck us into it. If you take the warp speed soda, yeah, you will be permanently written into the software program, into Satan's Matrix. It's true. But if you're, a natural born human, which I said very few are, if you're a male and your ring finger's longer, like this, then you're a real natural born human. If you're a female and your ring finger's longer, you're a transhuman. Real females, their index finger is longer than their ring finger or the same length. So if you were born with the vagina, your ring finger should be either shorter or the same length as your index finger. Not like mine, see? So, and also all the other male attributes, square shoulders, large male skull, all this kind of stuff. But you have to watch the breakdown videos of all that on the, Apocalypse Watchmen and Meg Truth and stuff. They talk about all that. But listen, this narrative, this Sabrina Wallace narrative, which a lot of people are picking up now and pushing, because it does sound good. It's written by the devil. The devil is the master of deception. He knows how to trick you, believe me. He knows exactly the kind of lies that you'll buy into. And so that's what all this hocus pocus Sabrina Rothschild's Wallace is selling you. And telling you, and black pilled ham, I call him Black Shield Scam. He's another one, Jeff, whatever his name is. That guy is he's just Bill Gates. He's an avatar of Bill Gates. But let's keep on the topic. These people are selling you a lie. They're all Canaanite liars. And they're selling you a lie that you're hooked up to the beast system. Well, no. Some of us have visions. And so what's going to happen is you're going to second guess yourself and go, oh, my visions must be, it's my nanotech I'm infected with. Bullshit. No, you're having visions from God. If you're a transhuman, though, and you're having visions, you are hooked up to the beast system. And if you're a if you took the soda and you're having visions, you are hooked up to the beast system. If you're a natural born human and you didn't take the soda and you're having visions, those are God's visions, not nanotech, W-band, Lee Land, mic drop crap. Look at Sabrina Wallace. She waves her hands around in the air just like Bill Gates. Just like Bill Gates. Just like Jared Lanier. Just like Genesis P. Orridge. They're all avatars of the Queen of Clubs. The Incredible Hulk is the Queen of Clubs. That's who it is. So I have a video about it. But don't buy. So bottom line, this Sabrina Wallace she is the same replicant. She's the same software character as Bill Gates. She's a eugenicist, and all of her stuff, none of it's in the Bible. She's trying to lead you away from what the Bible says. She's leading you away from iron and clay. And she's telling you now just the iron is going to infect the clay because of technology and DARPA and the elites. And I'm telling you, no, it's always been this way. And, you're surrounded by transhumans. And they've been around us for ages. In 1850 and for thousands of years, these transhumans have been here. So nothing new is happening here. And nothing that Sabrina says is in the Bible. What I say is in the Bible. So don't believe her in her little mic drops and all her theatrics. If you can't see that's a stage show, a vaudeville snake oil salesman, eugenicist trying to con job you, you're in a lot of trouble. I could do a breakdown on her or whatever, but why? If you're taken in by her and you need a breakdown to see she's fake, you don't deserve to come out of it. It's the way I look at it. You're that far gone, that you think there's some validity in the stuff she's saying. That's the way I look at it. Yeah, it's just simple. It's just real simple. It's either it's in the Bible or it's not. And what she's saying, that narrative is not in the Bible. So it's case closed. She's guilty as charged. Case closed. Hear ye, hear ye. The Truther Court now pronounces you, Sabrina Wallace, guilty of fake truther, racketeering, and treason, punishable by a trip to the lake of fire for eternal damnation. Take her away. So look, no, you're not infected. Don't let these fake truthers convince you you're infected with nanotechnology from the chemtrails and all this. So don't buy into this. I'm sure we are poisoned, yes, but you're not infected with nanotechnology. It's not. Show me in the Bible where it says that we will be infected with nanotechnology, because you can't. You can't. It's not in the Bible. And like I said, everything that's happening, it's in the Bible, word for word. It's in there. It just isn't the interpretation that the typical 501c3 churches told you. So no, I'm not buying. This is a good one. This is a really good one. Some of the truther hoaxes are really obvious, like the snake venom in the water. You had to be really, gullible to believe in that. But this one here, this one's a little more sophisticated. So a lot of people are going to buy into this. And this is a higher level truther psyop. And but I'm telling you, I see it right away, plain as day. It's another method of the devil to deceive you. You're not infected with weed land ban doon dan blah blah. No, it's not internet body IoT. How about FU Sabrina? That's what you're infected with. So get it out of your head. Okay, here's something important. The Bible says that everyone, I repeat, everyone will be deceived by Satan. The beast system will deceive all of us. And I think, a lot of truthers believe that they're not, they don't fall into that category, and they're not deceived. And that's where you're really in big trouble, is when you are being deceived by people like Sabrina and you think that you've got some kind of truth. That's when the devil really has you by the balls. So I'm urging you, I'm saying rethink this whole truther thing, because it isn't as truther as you think it is. And that's my message to you. So if the Bible tells you that everyone will be deceived, then why are you exempt? Okay? So you better think this through. All the world will be deceived by Satan. And in the end days, only the elect will come out of that deception. Only the elect will be given the end time truth. And I'm telling you, it ain't going to be coming from the Rothschilds. It's not coming from Rothschild Sabrina or Russell Brand. So you better wake your ass up. We're talking about the devil, the master of deception. So no lazy ass watching some videos on some BitChute's going to be, outsmarting this deception. So you better wake up, man. Listen, you need to get close to God and listen to visions. If you're actually, like I said, if you're one of the few pure-blooded real humans, and you're seeing things, well, you should start, just keep up your good action. But look at these, looks like some people that were once had their act together gone wrong, or I don't know, gone wrong in the end times, or maybe she's infected with the IOTW band. I don't know, but anyway, all right. So that's another little segment from San Francisco Truth. And also, I remember truther hoaxes from, back in the 80s and 90s, things I was terrified of that I learned in the truther narrative, and, reading the old truther magazines back in the day and books. And they never came true. And, my parents told me that too. My parents and my grandparents. This has all been, been going on for ages. The manipulation of the truth seekers by the Canaanites, by the beast. It's a supercomputer. Believe me, it studied us. It knows how to trick us. It knows how to scare us and fool us. It knows really well. It knows exactly what we'll believe and what we won't believe. So just think it through. Just use a little bit of common sense. All right? Since the soda was introduced, we've been told all these different things about it from the truther narrative. And these people have all the characteristics of fake truthers. And, Richie from Boston and Dr. Carrie Majay and Devil Bigtree and all these people, they're all chiming in, and Sabrina, all of them chime in. Oh, it's this, it's black graphene, it's this and that, spike protein, prions. This has been going on, and these fake doctors and fake scientists telling us what's in it. And it keeps changing. And never is there any kind of real, closure or proof. And it's just the beast system leading you away from what I'm saying. If you really look, I'm the guy who revealed what the beast system, or what's in the soda. I showed you Genentech. I showed you where the factory with all the smoke coming out of it, the steam out of those pipes. That's the soda right there, coming right out of the neck of the beast. And there's even a silhouette of Donald Trump at the Genentech headquarters, and the wind harp, and everything adds up. But just take notice. Did any other truthers pick up on it? Did anyone else talk about it? No, not a single one. Even though it made more sense, if you really step back, it makes more sense than any of the soda narratives we've heard in the last 4 years. My narrative is actually, even came with footage, photographic evidence, showing the Trump silhouette and the factory and all that. And the interviews of the Genentech employees that had seen it and everything. And, no, nobody picked it up. Nobody's talking about it. Why? Because the beast doesn't want you to know my narrative. They doesn't want you to know that, because that is what it is. I'm telling you, it's the blood of the beast with the head wound, just like Trump tweeted out. The VA, what, is my blood, and so, this is how it is. The truth narrative's fake, people. And you're not going to find out what's in the soda from what, the truth narrative. Richie and Del Bigtree aren't going to be telling you what the ingredients of the soda is. And neither is Sabrina or any of these deeper, fake truthers. So I'm telling you, people don't pay attention to me. They don't believe me because they've been brainwashed by the truth narrative and conditioned. But what I'm saying, every last word of it's going to come to pass as the end time truth. I guarantee you, I stake my life on it. So you just watch and see. The few of you that make it out of this, you'll see. You will see. Of all these truthers talking about this soda ingredients, I'm the only one who's offered a biblically accurate explanation. Iron and clay, Genentech, showed you what I'm saying straight word for word in black and white in the Bible. Yet, all these other truthers, no, it's not prions and black graphene. None of it's in the Bible. So you think about it, huh? You think about it. Okay, think about this. Okay, I'm not promoted, and I'm not a bagel. I have no bagel blood in me whatsoever. No J blood, no Canaanite blood whatsoever. I'm the son of Adam, the son of man. And just think about had one of these big truthers revealed some of the stuff I've revealed. Like, say, that picture of Donald Trump, the silhouette at Genentech, how Genentech is built in the silhouette of Donald Trump. Just think about if, say, Richie from Boston or Greg Reese had revealed that. Could you see Richie from Boston? Oh, hey, we got a big truth bomb here. Look, I'm going to show you the Genentech headquarters is built in the silhouette of Donald Trump. If he had done that, it would have went viral. The whole truth community would have been going bananas over that. But no, they're not. They don't want what I'm saying out there. And if you look at what I'm saying, there's a lot of stuff like that. That heart that I showed, the Golden Gate Bridge, cables, and how they're connected, Neuralink, the four horses. I showed the Tower of Babel. I've shown a lot of crazy stuff. Really, and it's right. It's right. And so, but why is absolutely no one in the truth narrative picking it up? And that's because it's end time truth, and I'm not an entertainment person. I'm not a bagel entertainment industry person like Richie and Greg Reese and Alex Jones. These are the Canaanites who've been lying to you on glass screens all your life. So those facts show that I'm right when I tell you that the truth narrative is all a lie. Because just think about it. Why is no one talking about that silhouette picture of Donald Trump or the four horses being the White House press secretaries? Huh? And it just shows you the truth narrative is a controlled lie from the beast. The reason the truth narrative wants you to believe this internet body of things narrative and this nanotechnology and all, we're all infected, is so that you don't believe in the mark of the beast. So you don't realize that the warp speed juice was the mark, part of the mark. And also so you don't see the beast system. They want you to believe this is all new technology, just now being put together and put across the world. And they want you to believe it's elites and it's done for money. And I'm telling you, this has nothing to do with money. They're stealing souls. The beast is trying to steal souls. It's not they, it's it. And this is a smoke screen. Internet body of things is a smoke screen to hide the beast system. The internet body of things and AI has been around forever. It's as old as the devil. All the fallen angels were the internet body of things thousands of years ago. Cleopatra was a part of the internet body of things. And Queen Elizabeth and Marco Polo, they're all cyborgs. It's been this way for ages. This is not new. So why, don't, and if you believe it is new, then you don't understand what you're dealing with. Bottom line, this is the beast system hiding itself until it can collect you up and put you in a FEMA camp. It's just keeping you busy, scrolling on a glass screen until it can kick down your door and guys in ski masks can haul you off to the FEMA camp and cut your head off. And you watching the stupid truther narrative going around and around in circles as these Canaanite robots lie to you. And another thing I can tell you is I know for a fact a lot of these truthers that I mentioned, they're watching my channel. These Canaanite fake truthers, these agents. You know, Richie watches every single one of my videos. I know for a fact. And he even came out here when I a couple years ago, when I posted the videos on the heart at Bayview Park. They were so 4 videos or something. They were so serious and so revealing. He drove all the way out here to check it out himself and meet up with his buddy. I know for a fact that happened. You know, and so, you know, and I know Greg Reese watches my channel. I know Sabrina watches it. And all these people, a lot of these people, I could go on and on telling you some of the people that are watching this. But, you know, none of them have the balls to mention me, you know. And most of them don't mention me because it's part of their mind-controlled puppets. And it's part of the truth narrative. They're not supposed to tell you about Genentech and that's where the juice came from. They're supposed to tell you about the Hydra and nanotech, black graphene, and all the truther narrative. Carrie Majay and Sabrina Wallace. That's what they're supposed to tell you. So they don't mention me. They're interested in, some of them, it's a complicated thing. These truther agents, some of them don't know, most of them don't know they're agents. They have no idea. They're just seeking truth, but they're being controlled, mind controlled, and fed what they're supposed to be fed and say what they're supposed to say. So it's very complex. But yeah, this is proof that my stuff is serious, and the beast system doesn't want it out in the truth narrative. It's not. You know, in fact, the truth narrative each video I release does damage control, trying to navigate around what I released. It knows there's a lot more people watching than you think. It knows who's watching. It knows that a lot of content creators are watching. It knows a lot of real truthers, people who have a chance, like the angels, the apostles. It knows they're watching. So it's doing its damage control. You could better believe it. In fact, Sabrina and Juxtaposition were created partially and is a response from what I'm saying. So, you know, the truth narrative just is not anything like what the truthers think it is. It's not. The truthers think they woke up. They woke down. You woke down into maximum security mind control is what you really woke up to. You woke up to serious, you know, maximum security mind control. That's the truth narrative. So let's get back to the video. So the truthers were deluded, and they were led to believe they were waking up, and what they were really doing is they were just getting put into a more secure, you know, maximum security mind prison. And most truthers not like to hear that. They're not going to be able to handle it, and they're not going to be able to process it, and they'll you know, react violently to that information. But if you stop and think about it, it's better to know that if it is true than to, like, you know, hear it and go into denial and delusion about it. So, you know, I'm doing you a favor, believe it or not. It may be painful to face what I'm saying, but it is right. It is right. And I think if you look deeply and you take it to God, you'll see it is right. Scare the crap out of you and mislead you and make you sound like a kook to all your sheeple friends and family. These psyops are designed to divide you from the rest of the population. This is how the beast works, divide and conquer. It tells the sheep something's idiotic, and they brainwashes them into believing in a moronic narrative, and then it brainwashes the truthers into believing in slightly less moronic narrative. And so, you know, neither of them are going to believe each other. And this is how it works. And success, and voila, they're all divided and conquered. And I can't tell you how many truthers I know that are cut out of their will, cut out of their family, alone, no longer have friends, because they're subscribed to the truther narrative. And yeah, the truther narrative is definitely a lot better than the sheeple narrative, but it is also a lie. And so most truthers don't want to believe that. But let's just look. So we had the Hydra. Then we had Dr. Artis tell us that there was snake venom in the water, right? Remember? It was all over the truther narrative, all over BitChute and Rumble and Telegram and Odyssey. And then we had, what else? We had April 8th. Oh, it's the April 8th, and it's this eclipse coming, or whatever the hell, April 8th. Oh, and then we had the fog, and then we had the truthers can't sleep. They're doing something to us, And now it's the Sabrina Wallace, it's W-ban, E-lan, whatever, L-A-N, ban, E-I-O-T, internet body, and you're infected with nanotechnology, you're doomed. It's all designed to scare the F out of all the truthers and make them give up, and also make them sound like morons when they talk to other people, make them sound like kooks. And it's also designed, a lot of this stuff is also designed to mask the effects of us being, attacked by these devices. So your cell phone is attacking you with, light and sound weaponry. Not stuff you can Google. You can't Google it. This is hidden. This is unknown, evil, demonic technology coming straight out of the beast system. Straight out of the San Francisco Peninsula, the Silicon Valley, and it's zapping the crap out of the truthers. And then it's telling them, it's the fog. It's it's the chemtrails. No, it's your phone. It's your phone. Wake up. Smell the coffee. The way I see it, the truthers are getting played like a little yo-yo, up and down, side to side. And the Canaanites and the beast system, it's a supercomputer, has all these tricks and all these algorithms worked out. It's probably run this program on you before, or on other people before. And you're getting played. And you got all these unknown ailments from your phone. From the beast. The beast is attacking you, and then you believe Sabrina Wallace, and you drink borax. No, it's not what's happening here. You got to kick the bottom line message at SFT is you got to kick the truther narrative to the curb. There's something deeper behind it. There's a real truth hidden behind the truth narrative that you got to get to. Do certain things in their life, make them take these extreme measures and drink peroxide and drink bleach and drink borax and take ivermectin and all these other psyops, right? And I told you I saw somebody on BitChute saying they were putting an electric battery charge in a wire into a bucket of water, and then they put their arm in there, and it was going to dry out the prions and the black graphene, and then they tell you, it's experimental technology. Look, I don't have all the answers, but I can tell you this. I don't believe in any of these things. I don't believe in black graphene or prions or spike proteins or any of this. I just think whatever is really in this juice, I saw it in visions. It was shown to me. It comes from inside of this beast, the San Francisco Peninsula. This is the fallen Nephilim giant. And its avatar is Trump. Who's also Aleister Crowley and Janis Joplin and Johnny Depp and General George Patton. Just pull up the pictures of those people and look close at the genetics. It is the same meme. They're replicants. They're cybernetic replicants. And they're all around you. It's not just politicians and famous people and movie stars. It's everybody. It's these people right here on the street that work in that bakery and that lady coming out that building. All of them. In fact, yeah, she is. She does. Look at her big square shoulders. That's not a real woman. It's a cyborg. It's a fake woman, transhuman woman. Flipped with this technology. It's ancient technology. And Greg Reese telling you, oh, it's experimental gene therapy. That isn't what it is, man. Greg Reese is a Canaanite. He used to work for Alex Jones. He's a big shill. And he's a more benevolent, softer, more kinder, gentler shill, but he is a shill. And, so you've got all these Canaanites telling you all these lies. That's the truth narrative, to keep you in the dark and keep you scared and keep you separated and make you sound, conspiratorial and crazy to your friends and family and coworkers and boss, and ultimately get you kicked out on the street where you're easier pickings and they can take you to the FEMA. Okay, so, and if you don't believe me, just think about this. Look at what the new homeless law is. All the mentally ill people are going to be incarcerated by trumpstien. So, the beast has already set you up to look like a mentally ill person by subscribing to the truther narrative. And all that has to happen now is your jabbed family and your jabbed boss and coworkers and friends can say, yeah, poor Janie or poor David, he's crazy. He believes all this crazy conspiracy stuff. And off you go to the camp. He denies the hollow. And you're crazy. You're mentally ill. You need to be rehabilitated at the camp. Think it through. The beast is not playing around, and it's a supercomputer. It's not stupid. So now you know the real reason for the truth narrative. Now you know why you were shown all these crazy conspiracy things, so that it can be used against you later and lock you up. That's what the truth narrative's for. It's to catalog the opposition and control them and finger them and lock them up and kill them. And if you sit there staring into YouTube hours on end, listening to these people, they're going to close in on you in ski masks and kick your door down. It's just a matter of time. Stop believing and stop watching all these fake truthers. Case closed. Just think back to all the fake truthers and all the algorithm accounts in the comment section trying to bait us into bashing our family and friends and coworkers and neighbors and school them with our truther knowledge. And they're so stupid, those stupid sheeple, so that you would go to work and with all this hatred and disdain for your stupid sheeple coworkers or neighbor. They tricked you. They tricked us. I was tricked by it too. We all were tricked. We were framed by the beast system. It framed us. The truthers were framed. The truth narrative is a setup. It's a con from the Canaanites. Okay, I know truthers that have, drank so much chlorine dioxide, they pooped all over themselves, vomited, almost, ended up in the hospital, or drank so much borax. My friend, she drank borax because she was told by Sabrina Wallace that she was infected with self-assembling nanobots, nanotechnology, and the borax would stop, kill it. So, this is the kind of stuff that these Canaanites are doing to the truthers. And if you go out and talk to the homeless people on the street, at least here in San Francisco. I don't know about where you live, but most of them are white, and most of them are truthers. They're 30, 40-year-old kids, and they're out on the street, and they lost their jobs, they lost their apartment because they spent their entire time studying the truther narrative on BitChute and Rumble and YouTube. And they're homeless because they've too much screen time instead of work time, and they couldn't pay their rent. So this is how the beast is destroying the goy through the truther narrative. The truther narrative is not what's saving them, it's what's destroying them. It's making them drink borax and stay on up all night watching BitChute and go crazy. That's what's really happening. And then they go and mouth off to the rest of society about all their truth or knowledge and make themselves look arrogant, stupid, and crazy. So no one wants to deal with them. So this is how the beast is really dealing with you. You think you're a big smarty pants with a bunch of truth or knowledge coming off all better than, but really what you are is you're just digging your own grave. So why are you believing these truther narratives? The same people keep pushing these same narratives, and they never come true. None of them ever pan out and be proven. You know, what I saw is this stuff isn't new. It's ancient. And it is like Trump said, it's his blood. It's the blood of the beast. It's the blood of this reanimated giant, which is the San Francisco Peninsula. The San Francisco Peninsula is a dead giant. It's the beast with the head wound that was killed. Like I said, the Bible speaks of this beast with the head wound as being killed past tense. It's no longer killed. It was brought back to life. Read the passage. Tells you straight to your face that this beast with the head wound has been put back together. And there's this technology right there, a self-driving car, that's a police car, not a taxi. Waymo, police car, cybernetic beast system surveillance vehicle. So this isn't in the truth narrative, but this is closer to the real truth. So what I'm telling you is the truth narrative is about all the ingredients in the Donald J. Duck juice, the warp speed poison, is not what the truthers say. It's something worse. It's iron and clay technology. Like I said, Genentech means iron and clay, genes and tech, genetics. Genetics are clay. We're petrified giants. The land is our genes. It's our genetics, Genentech. So you're dealing with iron and clay technology. This is in the Bible. This is what the Bible says. None of the truther narrative is in the Bible. It doesn't say that. Doesn't say black graphene and nanotechnology and W-band. It says what I'm saying. So don't give me this crap. So the Bible talks about this being iron and clay technology. Iron and clay is what it says. It doesn't say black graphene or prions or hydra or spike protein. It says iron and clay. And I showed you plain as day, the earth is the DNA. It's the Adam and Eve. I showed you. The plain is simple. We live on top of Adam and Eve. And I showed you we live on giants. That's the clay. That's the DNA. And I showed you Genentech is a flat out word. It just means iron and clay. They're telling you right to your face. Genes and tech, iron and clay. If we're living on Adam and Eve, what is clay? It's their genes now, isn't it? And then it's mixed with tech. From where? From the beast with the head wound. So it's just right there in your face, straight out of the Bible in black and white. But because the devil's messed with the interpretation so heavily, people can't see it. So you tell me, you explain to me what's going on at Genentech. You think it's just some rando tech company, the largest tech or biotech company in the world, the oldest biotech company in the world, with its head built in the shape of Donald Trump, with a statue that was built before it was even founded, of a wind harp that shows an altered DNA structure that mirrors the Golden Gate Bridge, made out of the same steel as the Golden Gate Bridge. Oh, just a coincidence. Huh? No, 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 no. I see this stuff. I looked into it, and like I said, you come out here. You come out here. I'll give you a tour. I'll show you. You will not doubt me if you come out here. I spent 2-3 hours driving you around town, and you'll see. I ain't playing around. This is the end time truth. This is the real Revelation 13. Come out here. Come on, put your money where your mouth is. You want to spout off about the Bible, charge money to people for it? Well, you better make sure you're right. So before you keep on blathering on, I suggest you come out here. Make sure you're right. It's truth or narrative. And, just look at it. It's all hokey. It's all designed to scare you. None of it ever comes true. So who's making more sense? Me or the truthers? The truther narrative? Huh? Who's closer to the truth here when you really get down to it? Is all the tech not coming from the San Francisco Peninsula? Why is all the biotech and all the AI and all the technology coming out of this one piece of land that's shaped exactly like a fallen giant? Huh? What the actual you-know-what? Huh? So don't buy into these truther psyops. It's not internet body of things. It's not DARPA and Palantir. Those are all psyops to keep you in the dark and make you believe this is some new technology coming from some elites and that it's a money-driven thing. And I'm telling you, it's not a money-driven thing. It's got nothing to do with money, and it's got nothing to do with elites. It's the devil looking for souls. This isn't about money. It's about souls. The only currency on earth is your soul. It's looking for your soul. It wants your soul. It's trying to harvest your soul. And bet you almost all those people, probably everyone, last one of them, has lost their soul. Either in this run or some other way, lost their soul to the devil, to the beast.